Hey world, what's good? It's your boy LG and I'm back with another video, another episode of music and gaming. And oh boy, I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite game franchises. I was debating on whether to do like I did with Street Fighter 6 and just do one, or if I should just go ahead and talk about all of them in this episode. So this time we're gonna try something different, and we're gonna talk about the entire franchise here. And we're gonna be talking about the entire Streets of Rage franchise and their music. And like I said, music can make or break a game. In the case of Streets of Rage, it makes it. And not only does it make it, it's iconic. This is right up there with Sonic, Mario as some of the best video game music ever. I'm just excited to talk about this and give my thoughts and opinions on this. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, before we get into some of my favorite tracks, I want to kind of talk about this. I want to say this off rip. I may butcher some of these names. I'm sorry. I don't mean to. It's just some of these names are hard to pronounce. Y'all know the soundtracks of Streets of Rage is mostly like around the dance, electronic dance music, EDM, mainly house, techno, hardcore, jungle. The main composer of the series is, I'm gonna say this right, Yuzo Koshiro. It's actually one of the easier ones. He was definitely influesoenced by black music, which it's always great to see. The way he did it was just amazing. He was using both sound chips of the Yamaha FM synth sound chips of the Sega Mega Drive console, which is also called the YM2612, and the NEC PC88 computer, YM2608, along with Koshiro's own audio program language. Man was on another level already. For Streets of Rage 1, the inspiration was that club music that he would hear in the clubs to the video games, and being able to replicate that was going to be, I guess, the challenge, because a lot of prior to Streets of Rage, and I when I went back and I looked at it, a lot of, or listened to other tracks before Streets of Rage hit, it was obvious chiptune, and getting the Mega Drive or the Sega Genesis to replicate the TR 808, 607, 606, 707, 808, 909, those was the challenge for the time, but he was able to do it. Now, oddly enough, on a side tangent, I played Streets of Rage 2 first, and then Streets of Rage 1, and then Streets of Rage 3. Same thing with Sonic. I don't know how that happened. It's just weird. Don't ask. Okay, let's start with Streets of Rage 1 here. This track is called Fighting in the Street. This is, if I remember correctly, this is stage 1. This comes across so well, and it's crazy how this is put together. You can already hear that dance feel, right? Love it. You could just, the dance, the house feel is just there. It completely there. Yeah, violent breathing is definitely. Oh man, this is good. Oh, that's oh, I love it. So good. It's so good. This stage right here, this one, the last soul, the title is fitting for it too. It's oh man. That arpeggio right there. The way this arpeggio is set up, it sounds amazing. You can, it gives that last stage vibe, and it fits it perfect. The last soul. It when you hear the title and you hear this, and I can remember you're going down that long ass hallway. So it's like, and it, oh man. And this is just one, y'all. Okay. And of course I gotta go over to the boss song. Oh man. It gives you that grit. You knew it. You knew the boss was coming. This is definitely, it fits. Oh man, that's nuts. And this is I think this is the final boss. Yeah. Yep, final boss. I love that little alarm effect. Oh, that's amazing. I wonder how they pulled off that must have been hell to pull off that little sound bit, that little vocal sound bit. That's crazy. Streets of Rage 2 came out. This one was one of the best ones, and this one also was the first one where they credited the composer on the title screen. This one also had tracks from Motohiro Kawashima. Make sure I say that right. This is definitely Koshiro's best work. I don't care what nobody says. This is one of the best top soundtracks out of the entire series, I think, and best sequences too. The player select screen, when you player select, you pick your character, and then right when you pick your character, you get this right here. Best opening ever. Let's go. The nostalgia of just going through the stage and just, oh man, this, I can remember when I was little and I heard this for the first time. It's just the chills that I got when I heard like the bass kick in and then the beat kick. Oh, then you go from going straight into the streets into the bar. Now I didn't know at the time that there was two versions of the go straight and then the bar, so I didn't know that. But hey. And then, after you go through all of that, you hear this rain, and then, oh, the best boss, one of the best boss songs ever. It goes just straight to it. Good God. This was just amazing. And then wait, it gets better because there's a whole slew of tracks here that are really good. This one was a classic, Spin on the Bridge. That energy just kept it going. Oh man, this is another one. Oh, Dreamer was another one. Dreamer stage, which was like stage 3. Oh. This one right here. This the one that I like this. That little arpeggio. Ooh. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, baseline was amazing. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, man, oh man. Whew. And then it goes right into one of my other favorite tracks. Bass is too good. Oh. But we're gonna come back. Keep in mind on this one. We're gonna come back to this one, but we're gonna come back to this one. So many good tracks. There are so many standout tracks on here. Slow Moon's another one. So this one, if y'all don't remember, my friend and I, Edman Zero, we did a remix of this. If you guys want to hear it, I will have that in the description below and also up there. Oh man, so many good joints here. So many. And there's just so many good ones. Like Jungle Bass is a good one. Well, this version was okay. Back to the Industry was another one. This one, I recently came back to this one because I heard somebody do an extended version of this. Oh man. Yeah. Sheesh. This was nuts. This whole soundtrack, nuts. Hearing Streets of Rage 2 and how amazing this was, we get to Streets of Rage 3. This one was a bit of a mixed bag for a lot of people. A lot of people had mixed feelings on this, and I don't blame them. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't blame you if you really wasn't feeling it, right? Streets of Rage 3 has a different feel. Koshiro used his own automated composing system used to produce heavily randomized sequences. This one has also more abstract experimental stuff to it. You can kind of hear it right actually off the first one. This is the character select screen, by the way. So you can kind of hear where it's getting a little bit different, you know, that automated. It's almost like it's giving it there's like a different danger almost. It's like a different kind of danger. But I will say this next one, this first stage song here still hits to me. Watch. After. So this one's faster. It's faster than the opening stage of 2. And then with all of this going on, it's like a different danger, like something that's way more sinister and more urgent at the beginning. This one's another good one that I like. I love this one. This one's the dub slash Enter Shiva. This one's really good. I like how this one's offbeat a little bit. That off, you know, that little offbeat hit. I like that. And then I think, which one's this one? Like, this is where it gets weird, you know. This one's a good one. Now this one, it goes back to that regular, you know, dance feel. But then it starts putting in that randomness a little bit. See, like you can kind of tell with some of these tracks where they're starting to get more into the experimental territory, right? I do like this one though. I'm gonna tell you, this one I like. This is another good one. I'll never forget when I first saw this, when I first got to this stage in the game, how I used to get confused because the flashing lights in the game would make it go dark a little bit. So I don't know how they programmed the game, but like when the flashing lights will go off, like it'll go be a regular, then the lights would just go black and then flash. I used to get so confused all the time with that part. But here we go with the boss theme though. This boss theme is amazing. But yet, I like how for certain themes, they bring it back to the dancey part, but they also try to go with other places and other tracks. They try to get experimental. And there were some tracks in there that were like, I can understand where people would not feel it as much. And I understand how a lot of people, I know like the music for Ash, the comment is called, I think it's called Come de Coco or something like that. For Ash, the mid boss that was taken out or censored in the American version of Streets of Rage 3, that was completely awkward too. But I don't blame you if you didn't like Streets of Rage 3's soundtrack that much, but I still think it's good. I still think it fit the game extremely well. Now, before we get into Streets of Rage 4, there was a fan game that came out prior to Streets of Rage 4, because y'all know Streets of Rage 4 has been out for maybe about a couple of years now. So what ended up happening was there was a fan game called Streets of Rage Remake, and on a side tangent, I think it's the best game that came out out of the Streets of Rage series. It edges over Streets of Rage 4, but that's not the scope of this conversation. Anywho, this remake came out in, I believe, 2011, and when I say they remaked it, the game was basically like Streets of Rage 3.5. They had all the sprites from Streets of Rage 1, 2, 3, enemy placement, similar, whole lot of branching stages, all that good stuff. And of course, that means the music got redone. So a lot of the tracks that are classics had a whole new take on it. Okay, this was made arranged by Gecko Yamori, BGM 1401, BAC, Groovemaster 303, and Naoki Kodaka. And these guys did an amazing job. If any of y'all seen any of my streams, like my older streams, I've had this music playing in the background. That's how good this is. So y'all know the classic Go Straight. Here's the remake. They kept the original sound, they kept everything, but they just remade it, reimagined it with no hardware limitations. And I mean, they have all the stages. Like, here's even Streets of Rage 3's first thing, right? And it added this extra suspension. I love it. Fighting in the street. You can hear how like they just no limitations on the hardware once again, and you can just with that no limitation how they just went in. Still has that exact same feel with some changes to it, and this is changed in an amazingly good direction. Now, there are some tracks that I didn't like how they remade. The Dreamer from Streets of Rage 2, not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of this. I didn't like how they did the opening part, because there's no arpeggio. Like there's that, and then the way the piano sounds, it sounds a little meh to me. You know, minor gripe though, but it still hits. Minor gripe. Now, I will say they did a change to something that I did like. The alien power. They killed it. This version, I like what they did here. Baseline. Right, so now they even added something. This one, now one of the reasons why I like this is because they actually added something new. Watch this. Watch this. Oh, but wait, it gets better. Oh man. And then this part right here is like my favorite. I heard it, I got chills. Good God, they killed this. But yeah, as you guys can see, like this whole track list, if you guys want it, it's available on YouTube. I will put the link to the playlist, to all the playlists if I can, in the description below. And now we're getting into Streets of Rage 4, y'all. This one was a different beast. Let me make sure I get the names right here. I'm gonna get the names right before I mess this up. This was originally composed by Olivier Derivier. I'm sorry, I know it's a French composer, and I'm screwing your name up. I'm sorry, but this also has additional compositions from Yoko Shimomura, Keiji Yamagashi, Harumi Fujita, Das Mortal, XL Middleton, Scattle, and Ground Slava, including the original two Koshiro and Kawashima. The way this is structured was crazy. Primary themes were done by Derivier, while each boss fight theme was written by one of the guest composers. Now, at one point, Koshiro was not going to be on this project, which would have been a cardinal sin, but he ended up joining in 2019 after playing a demo of the game at Bit Summit, and fan requests and how the game was coming along were his reasons for joining. I'm glad that, you know, Koshiro was actually put back on this project. You can't have a Streets of Rage project without Koshiro at this point. This whole soundtrack slaps. It's definitely right up there with the originals. Of course, we got Koshiro coming in with the main theme here, and just amazing. This so good. Then of course we got stage 1. Just you can't go wrong with this. You can't. And it's that smooth dance feel, you know what I'm saying? It's not as gritty as 3 was. It's a little bit, it's still along the lines of 2, that calming, but it's still, you know, still hits, you know? Then you got some other good tracks here. The Streets, this is a good one. This one's The Streets by Derivier. This is when he started coming in. Man, all these tracks are really good. But let me see. Where's my favorite? No, you know what? Before we get to that, I gotta play this track because this track has definitely gotten really popular. It's a popular track and I like it too. It's a solid track. Oh, I love that part. I love that little swell build up. Oh, that's dope. I love it. But yeah, that was a good one. But if I were to pick my most favorite track, the best one out of all of them in here, this one. This one's called Chow Time. Stage 6. Best song ever. Best song ever on this soundtrack. Because it brings it that same era of the originals. Let's go! This one gives me 3 vibes. You know what I'm saying? This one's it's that grittiness of 3, but the beat of 2 a little bit. That kind of that classiness of 2, that edge. The DLC also came out, right? So the difference with this, the DLC, Streets of Rage 4, this is Mr. X's Nightmare DLC. It was released on July 15, 2021. This one was fully composed by T. Lopez, right? If that name sounds familiar to you, his music is basically more known for the Sonic community. After playing the DLC and listening to the music that they put in here for it, so good. And it fits so well. This one is kind of like Streets of Rage 3-ish. This one gives me more Streets of Rage 3-ish vibes, more gritty, you know, a little bit more harder, pause, a little bit more of that darker, grittier element, you know what I'm saying? But just listen. Corrupted Dreams. Then they add the theme in there, the original theme. This is dope. I like this theme, that callback. Yeah, oh yeah. Like all of these are all good. Right? This is a good one. Spotlight Somersault. Yeah, this was done really good. So then you got more jungle. Literal. For some reason this gives me what's her name from Maya's theme from Killer Instinct. Now that I think about it. But yeah, overall, this soundtrack is definitely a banger, right? And like I said before, a good soundtrack can either make or break a game. Hell, it can even make a bad game playable if it's really good. But this is an example of the best case scenario. This is what you get when you have people that enjoy music and want to create something that will not only fit the game, but honestly, you can play this in a club. A lot of these songs you can play in a club, and regular people wouldn't know the difference. You can play Sonic music in a club, and people are like, oh yeah, that's from Sonic. Like, dude, what are you fucking doing? Like, this you can play in a club, and gamers will know what this is. People that play the game knows what it is. They're not regulated to video game music, and that's how you know you've done an extraordinary job. Like, this whole franchise has some of the best soundtracks, the most iconic soundtracks, only outside of Mario and Sonic, really, to be honest with you. This is definitely top 5 greatest soundtracks, easy overall. But I want to know what you think. Let me know what's your favorite soundtrack, whether it's Streets of Rage 1, 2, 3, Remake, 4. You know, I want to know what you think. If you guys got any other soundtracks that you want me to take a listen to and, you know, want me to go through, let me know. I definitely would love to hear your thoughts and your opinions on it. Like I said, I don't claim to know everything. I just like good music, and apparently this is good music. All right, if you guys want to follow me on all social media, you sure can at 210LG everywhere except for Instagram, 210law. Be sure to like and subscribe as well. More videos on the way. I do music, gaming, and also talk about more music and gaming, and also some other projects on the way as well. I'll be catching you guys on the next time. Peace and God bless.
The Dynasty